chat Zoom. So we're going back to the basics, and we are taking Eric Worre's book on GoPro, and we're walking through. He has 7 steps, but I've come up with one more, 7 skills. I've come up with one more. So we're going to go through 8 skills. And we're altering it a bit to fit our business, but we're using this as a guide. And hopefully, those of you who have this book, I hope everyone has this book. Hopefully you were able to read chapter 4 for today's coaching chat. And so today we're going to talk about finding prospects, which I think a lot of times, probably if I had to pick the skill that is most challenging, I would probably say is finding the prospects. Anybody else agree with me there? I feel like if you've got plenty of prospects, then you don't have a hard time with this business. But if you're limited on your prospects, it's going to be harder. Not to say it's not impossible, because I've seen some people really figure it out and really build and develop that skill. And I absolutely love to see people do that. So today we're going to kind of talk about finding those prospects, what's going to help us, what will hinder us. And so let me get to where we need to be to start our video or our screen. Okay. So if you read the book, I thought this was really interesting that kicked off this chapter. Was Eric Worre talked about 3 kinds of network marketers. He talked about posers, amateurs, and professionals. And as I read it, and I've probably read through this book, I don't know how many times, but I had really forgotten this part of the when he kind of breaks down the different network marketers. But as I read that, I thought, oh my gosh, he's so right. He talked about posers. Let me see, did I make a screen for this? No. Okay. So he talked about posers are people who think of 4 or 5 people. So you're sharing the business with somebody and you see, their mind just kind of clicking, thinking, okay, I know 5 or 6 people who would jump on board and order Juice Plus. But then once they kind of go through that process, they just kind of leave it, almost as if, okay, that's all I got. How many have had some partners like this, that they'll reach out to a few people, but as far as really putting in any effort to build and grow any further, they're just not going to do it. And that's okay. But the question is, do we just let them stop there and say, okay, that's all they're going to do? Or do we really take that next step as leaders, as an upline, and at least bring them to that amateur phase? And do you remember what he said? That's people who will create a memory jogger list, and we should be requiring that of any new partner we bring on. That's part of the process. But you see them work through that list and then maybe not get the success that they want. And then what happens? They just are like, okay, I can't do this. And we as upline to, whether it be the posers or the amateurs, if we allow them to stop there, shame on us. Because in reality, when it comes to finding prospects, whether people come on board with a huge network already built in, or they're going to have to build a network, if we allow them to think, okay, whether it be a poser or an amateur, if we allow them to think that's all there is, and, oh, well, you don't have what it takes. Either you can't turn your 100 list into customers, or you can't even create a list of 100. If we allow them to believe that falsehood, shame on us. Because in reality, finding prospects is a skill that we develop and that we teach our partners how to develop. And I think when we don't acknowledge that and help them understand there's nothing wrong with you, this is a skill. You just haven't learned the skill yet. Let me help you develop that skill. Some people come into our business and maybe they do already have that skill, but a lot of people don't. And it's up to us to really help them develop that skill. And I loved how we went into even we ourselves, if we've been in this business a while and you hear people say, well, I've run out of people to talk to. That should be a blaring siren that they haven't picked up on the cue, or I haven't taught them. This is a skill that we learn. And going back through and as long as I've been in this business, going back through and reminding myself, this is a skill and I better be helping my people learn and develop this skill. And I better be continuing to develop this skill. And I love these points that he made. Number one, make your list as comprehensive as possible. Make your list as comprehensive as possible. How many of us have a memory jogger list of at least 100 names or more? If all of our hands aren't up, then we've not. I remember reading something when it was saying that if you have, I think it was 250 friends on Facebook, you at a minimum have 600, you could have 600 people on your memory jogger list. And so when I think about that, think about how many people you have, friends you have on Facebook, and multiply that by 3. That's how big your memory jogger list should be. And so if it's not, then let's just make a mental note, not a mental note, put it on. I hope you guys are keeping like a notebook of what you're learning from these calls. Put that down as an action item that I'm going to build a comprehensive memory jogger list, and I'm going to hang on to it, and I'm just going to keep building. The second thing he said, now think about the people that they know, that whole 6 degrees of separation. When I look at some of the majority of the partners that I brought into this business, they're not the people on my list. They were people that were on my list that they knew. And I'm looking at Brenda Proctor now. She was not on my memory jogger list. It was her upline. Her sister-in-law was on my list. And look at that. What if I had not worked with the partner who brought Brenda in? I would have missed out on an unbelievable partner on my team, and not to mention a dear, dear friend. So look at that list and don't just stop at that comprehensive list you built. But now, how do I continue to work that list through that list to the people that they know? The third thing there is constantly expand your list. You know, if you use what is the system that we use, Erin? And Teamsy. You know, on Teamsy, one of the things it says is to add at least 1 new person to your memory jogger list a day. Now, I would say maybe I add 3 to my memory jogger list a week. But what if I really got consistent of adding 1 new person a day? That's going to force me to get out there and continue meeting new people. And not just meet them, but capture that name, make a good connection so that I can continue developing that relationship. So constantly, what are you doing to constantly expand your list? And maybe we talk about that. Maybe we stop right now. What are we doing to constantly, well, you know what? We're going to get to that point in a minute, but I want y'all to think, because I want to hear some new ideas. So think about, what am I doing to constantly expand my list? The fourth thing, find a creative way to stay in touch with people. All right, so we're going to have a Q&A here in a bit. So these are going to, I want to hear from you guys. So get your thinking caps on as I'm saying this, things are coming to mind. They have to. When and I'm going to stop and throw something out right now. Last week, I'd gone, a couple of weeks ago, I'd gone to get my hair done. And that's always an absolute wonderful place to meet people and to talk about Juice Plus and get customers. Well, while I was there, I had several people interested in Juice Plus. So the salon owner has become a friend of mine down through the years. And I said, Shannon, do you mind if I come someday next week and just bring my blender, complete, perform, and just make shakes for everybody in the salon? She goes, sure, sure. So I reached back out to her. I said, I'm coming. And she'd kind of fallen off the bandwagon with her Juice Plus. I said, you got to get back on track. Another one of the salon hairstylists as well. And so I said, I'm going to get you and Anna back on track with your Juice Plus, and then, share it with everyone else. Well, it was a hit. Shannon loved it because everyone's getting shakes in the salon. It just helps her business. But not only I got 2 quad orders, 2 complete orders, 2 perform orders, an omega order, and 5 more people interested in getting on Juice Plus. I was there 2 hours. And I'm like, what in the world? I need to be going to every salon out there. So write that on the list. We all get our hair done. You're giving business to your hairdresser. So there should not be an issue of her allowing you to come and do that. Not only is it a nice thing for her to offer to her clientele, but it's a reciprocal agreement, in my opinion. I spend a lot of money with her. There has to be some desire, I would think. If not, I'd go get another hairdresser, period. So there's an idea, a creative way to, expand my list, and a creative way to stay in touch with those customers and potentially build more customers. And then number 5, network on purpose. So that again was networking on purpose. And it made me think, who else out there do I give business to that I'm not asking for business back from, and I should? And we can do it in a very creative way that doesn't feel pressure to them, but that they want to help us. And my hairdresser was so sweet. Thank you so much. She wanted to help. She was excited. And she was coming behind me saying, oh my gosh, Juice Plus is phenomenal. You've got to get on Juice Plus. So having that amenter in the crowd was huge. So let's think about creative ways to stay in touch with our customers and to network on purpose to build and grow our business.
Can I ask you a question, Elaine?
Yes.
So everybody, all these customers are sitting down, or they're sitting at this, or they're waiting for their appointment, I guess, but they're sitting and chatting with their own hairstylist. You come in and offer these shakes to everybody, and then do you just get up and start talking and have everybody stop their conversation?
No. As I gave them a shake, we just had conversations. I literally, my internet went down. I couldn't print off anything. I was going to print off handouts to everyone, and my internet went down this morning. I literally just took my 4 bottles of capsules and I sat them on the back of one of the couches. And as I handed out shakes, I just had conversations with people. How do you like it? Here's what this is for. What are you doing to protect your health? Here's the capsules. This is our flagship product. And it was just one-on-one conversations. Nobody felt threatened. And it couldn't have gone any better. So, all right. So finding prospects. If you think about finding prospects, think of who, what, when, where. Who is it I want to talk to? What is it I want to say and give to them? When am I going to do this? And where's that going to happen? And so just answering those, maybe it's one day a week, you really hone in on this finding new prospects. Who, what, when, where? Who, what, when, where? And answer those questions. Who do I want to talk to? What is it I want to give them? When am I going to do it? Schedule it. And where am I going to go? We got to get out and talk to people. If we think we're going to build a business behind this computer, I'm here to tell you it's not going to happen. We have to get out there and find places to go meet people where they are. All right, so let's talk about where do I go to get? Let's get creative. This is a few, but we're going to write these down. We're going to add to them. When I think about friends and family, I got so many friends who I have not talked about Juice Plus with. They know. And family members, I got some cousins on Juice Plus, but I got a lot. I probably have 80 cousins. And have I talked to all of them? No, I haven't. I mean, when we say, oh, I'm exhausted, we have not. I've been doing this 23 years. If I've not exhausted them all, you haven't exhausted them all. We just hadn't thought about them. So start with the people who love you the most. Sometimes they're the hardest, but sometimes it's just simply because we haven't asked. And then the next thing I want to think about history. If I go back, what about in elementary school, middle school, high school? Who are my parents' friends? Where did I live? What school did I go to? What neighborhood did I live in? What college did I go to? Who are my college friends? You guys, when I just say all those, pictures of people are popping in my head that I have never even talked to about Juice Plus. I just got one of my middle school friends on Juice Plus recently. And she's like, literally said to me, you've been doing this a long time, haven't you, Elaine? I said, yeah. And she goes, how can you call me? She reached out to me. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. So I'm here to say, we can say we don't, but we do. There are people that we can reach back out to. How about focus groups? Sports groups your kids were in, Bible study groups, neighborhood groups. Go back through different seasons of life. I was in a young married class. I've taught young, I've done counseling for newlyweds. When you really start thinking about all the places you've been, all the things you've done, I got a text from Susan, was it last week, saying, hey, I got somebody, she's in Italy. She's talking to someone about Juice Plus. You guys, and that's going to go to that next point, explore the opportunities that we have. We have more opportunities than we even think about because we don't keep it top of mind. And we're not keeping a notebook with us, whether it's on our phone, whether it's a hard, notebook. It doesn't matter. Just get a system that you can capture names and we can keep expanding our memory jogger list. To me, the number one starting point is look at your calendar. Who on your calendar? Who are you going to see this week? Where are you going to go? My mom right now is in rehab, so I'm seeing new people all day long. I'm going to start, and I have been having conversations, but even more so conversations when I go there. Everybody, if they have a pulse, they need Juice Plus. And that's the beautiful thing about what we do. Everybody needs Juice Plus. We're not selling makeup. We're not selling purses. We're not selling things that have a small group of people. Every single person you see needs Juice Plus.
Helps them keep their pulse.
I like that. Helps them keep their pulse. You know what? Customer referrals. You guys, if you talk to your customers, they're going to refer people to you. If you're not getting customer referrals, it's because you're not having good conversations with your customers. Seriously. So ask yourself, when's the last time I got a customer referral? And then think about, am I, and I'm guilty too, I'll save time, I'll shoot a text, hey, your Juice Plus is about to ship out. You know what I've just done? I've just robbed myself the opportunity to get a referral from that customer because I didn't call and have a true conversation with them. What if we did the phone call? If we didn't get them, we follow up with a text. What if we always start with a phone call? Random encounters. You know, I always go back to Catherine Lee, who is 100 plus club, meeting Deanna Christofferson at the produce aisle at the grocery store. And Deanna Christofferson is 100 plus partner in our company. They met at the grocery store in front of the produce aisle, and a simple conversation started up. Anyone can, how easy is it to start up a conversation in the produce aisle? Random encounters. I'm telling you, we miss them all the time because we're in too big of a hurry, or we're a little afraid, like, I don't know what to say. Start with hello. Start with a smile. People love to connect. We just get so busy, we don't. And then weak, and I'm looking here, seeing I spelled weak wrong. W-E-A-K. I do know how to spell weak links, but weak links back to the people who we do know. How easily, kind of back to knowing my hairdresser. And through her are these weak links, but I just got 5 new names that I can connect with. So let's get creative. I hope you take a snapshot of this or write it down. And I think that's all I have. No, I have one more. Oh, here's a great, if you've not seen this, this is a great way to jog your memory. Your social media, warm market, relatives, who do I know? Who is my accountant, association member, auto mechanic, babysitter, bank teller, barber, hairdresser, a bowling team, bunco cards, car salesman. Look at all that. You guys take this document, and I'll post it on both on Voxer and on Facebook. And I challenge everyone to go through this list and write the names. If you don't know the name of that person, write who it is, like appliances sold to me. You know what? I just had a conversation. I need to buy a dryer for one of my rentals. You know what? I should have had a conversation with that girl and gotten her name. So that's the challenge to us, is literally to see if we all can't come up with 50 names based on this list. And so none of us need to ever say, I'm not sure who to talk to. I don't have anyone else to talk to. You know what my dad would say? Hogwash to me, to all of us, because we do. We just kind of we've trained our thoughts to say, I don't really have any more connection. You know, I've talked to everyone. We have not. What if we, and I didn't even put on there, what if we started doing an event once a week? That would make us get on the ball and get out there and start talking to more people. All right, I'm going to stop the recording.